Hi, so I'm going to be doing a book review on a contemporary realistic fiction young adult book called The Rest of the Story by Sarah Dessen. So, I've read a lot of her books before. I've thoroughly enjoyed her books. In most of middle school or high school, these were a lot of the books that I'd get that I read from the library. Anyway, so about this book. Similar to a lot of her books that she writes, she tries to write about more serious topics in an age-appropriate manner for middle schoolers or high schoolers, so it's not too graphic or over the top. It's more digestible, and not in a bad sense, but to where they can understand these issues better. So this book exactly is about a 17-year-old girl named Emma Saylor. Her mother died of an overdose when she was about 3 or 4, and she's just kind of been dealing with that ever since. And at the beginning of the book, her father recently got married, and him and his new wife are about to go on honeymoon. And where she's supposed to stay while they're on their honeymoon, plans fall through. So she ends up staying with her extended family on her mother's side that she hadn't even seen since she was about 4 years old, I want to say. A very long time since her mother passed. And while it's kind of like a coming of age story. She kind of realizes, learns who she is, learns how to deal with the issues of her mother passing and how other people in the family have dealt with it too. And basically who she is, and that she's not alone in a lot of these situations. There's other people that maybe not even part of her family that have experienced, severe loss and are angry about it and struggle to deal with it. So in this book, of course, Sarah Dessen, she also has to add a little love interest. Personally, I like a little romance in books. That's kind of my thing. Nicholas Sparks, come on, we love him. Yeah. So there is a love interest in it, and he's also dealing with loss and trying to figure out who he is, that sort of thing. And they kind of work through it together, and that's about the most of the story without trying to give away a lot of the bigger details of it. Anyways, so I feel like this is a really good book for a lot of females, young adult females. Personally, in middle school or high school, I read a lot of her books. I recently just read this one. I'd never heard of it till recently. I think it's one of her newer ones. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is. But I feel like she does a great job that a lot of young adult stuff, issues that they're dealing with, eating disorders or suicidal thoughts, mental health, addiction, other things that we see our families dealing with or that we're personally dealing with, she does a great job talking about to where it won't trigger you as well. She does a great job at that. I've noticed that in all her books. A lot of her books, I feel have been really helpful too in getting through these issues. Personally, I grew up with a lot of issues. I had some issues growing up, and a lot of family members had issues that I kind of had to watch and observe going on, and I didn't know what to do. I was still going through puberty, learning life and whatnot. And so these books kind of help you process things a little better, and I really appreciate her doing that. And had I read this book sooner, in middle school or something, I feel it would have been really helpful in not feeling so alone and just being able to work through things. Because with contemporary realistic, it's a lot more current and realistic. So it's a lot more relatable, so it does make it easier to understand, and it does help you process through things a lot easier. So anyone who's dealing with that sort of thing, like a young adult female who's dealing with that sort of stuff, I would greatly recommend this book. I think they do a great job. I think she does a great job doing this, writing this. And you don't even have to be going through this stuff to enjoy the book. The plot, I really enjoyed it overall. Like, I've worked through a lot of issues, so like just reading the book now, at the age I am now, still enjoyable. Still a great time. But yeah, Sarah Dessen. I think everyone should give her a shot. Boy or girl. Her writing is consistently good through all her books. Some have done better than others, but yeah, I think everyone should just check her out. Contemporary, if you like contemporary or realistic fiction, she does great sticking it in that genre, so just check her out. Let me know what you think of her.